Hey guys, Panzer J back here with Operation Skyfall. Turn 18, January of 1945. 18.5 for the Commonwealth and 18.6 for the Free French. So unfortunately, for the Allies, Boston Bruce had a great turn 17 with the KMT and the USA, and we could have pulled out a last-minute Hail Mary victory if the die roll would have went our way. Unfortunately, it didn't. So we're back behind the 8-ball, to say the least, here in this game. I think the Axis are back ahead by like 2 or 3 victory points. So there's no way, I don't think, that we're going to be able to replicate that this turn, the Hail Mary. So we got to hope that the game goes past this turn, or I'm pretty sure it's going to end in an Axis victory if the die roll hits for turn 18 here. So we'll see what we can do. So for the UK, our 2 tech rolls, we're going to try for improved construction, which is at stage 2, and that's 7 or higher. And then we don't have anything else on the board, so we're going to start heavy armor at an 8 or higher. Okay, so first, improved construction at a 7, a 6 we miss, and heavy armor, a 6 we miss. So two fails. Okay, so for purchases, the United Kingdom has 39 to spend, and I think we're spending all of it. So we've got 4 infantry for 12, an airborne for 3 is 15, a marine for 4 is 19, a jet for 12 is 31, 2 militia upgrades for 4 is 35, and 2 militia for 4 is 39. The FEC had 14 to spend. They're spending all of it, 10 on a fighter and 4 on a Gurkha. And Anzac has 8 to spend, and they're just going to spend 2 of it on a militia upgrade. Okay, so for attacks, I believe we have 4 maybe, I think. I should have marked them. Okay, so let me just go over things real quick. I don't think there's any here in Europe, anything going on in that part of the world. Okay, so over here, we're going to have, first, this naval transport here in, what is that, I-41. Or no, not I-41, I-11. It's off of Calcutta. It's going to go ahead and pick up 2 of the British infantry that are here in Bengal. Okay, that's in the same sea zone. So that is then going to come down here. We're at a major base, so it's going to come down 1 to I-12. Now, we do have a Japanese sub there, but this entire force here in I-13, which is 3 battleships, a light cruiser, a destroyer, a naval transport with a medium armor and an infantry, and a sub, are all going to come up 1 to here. So they're moving in the same time that transport is. So hopefully, I would assume, this 1 Japanese sub isn't going to interfere. So then they all go 1, then 2 into I-7. Again, this entire fleet's going there as well. So again, we have a Japanese sub. I don't think Rich is going to engage. Okay. So then the entire fleet that was here in I-13 is going to stop here in I-7, but then the naval transport is going to continue because, again, it came from a major base, so it has a movement of 3. It's going to go 3 into I-6 and drop off those 2 British infantry in southern Iran and take that from the Russians. So that's a walk-on. So that's $2. Okay. Then here in I-7, I'm going to move this Japanese sub out of the way for now. These 3 battleships are going to go in port there in Maharashtra, and the naval transport is going to drop off the infantry and the medium armor there in Maharashtra. So that's attack 1 was southern Iran. Number 2 is going to be, we're going to have these 3 infantry and Transjordan come over to southern Iraq. Pete has 4 advanced mechs. Also coming over is going to be the 3 Anzac fighters from Calcutta. So with long-range aircraft, I have a movement of 5. So they're going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4 to southern Iraq. So 3 infantry, 3 fighters there. We're also going to have, what else were we going to do? I guess we're also going to have this air transport in Calcutta pick up the paratrooper, and that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, drop him off there. And I guess we'll also have the heavy, or not heavy, but strategic bomber go 1, 2, 3, 4, and carpet bomb. So we've got the 3 infantry, the 1 paratrooper, the 3 fighters, and the carpet bomb going into southern Iraq. And then our third battle is going to be here in Yugoslavia. So in eastern Yugoslavia, Pete has a militia, and we're sending over 2, 4, 5 infantry, 5 of the 6 infantry, and the 2 artillery from Bulgaria. We're going to go over 1 infantry to stand behind because he's going to rail somewhere else. And those are our 3 attacks. I don't believe, looking things over real quick, Australia isn't doing anything. Yeah, we should be good to go. I don't believe there's any other attacks. Okay, so we have just a 2 rolling attack. So let's do Yugoslavia first. So we are going into mountains. So our 2 artillery first strikes are only 2s instead of 3s. So we get 2 shots at a 2 for first strike. 12 and a 7, no. Okay, so then we had 5 infantry. They're all reduced to 1s, but then 2 of them are boosted because of the artillery. So here's 2 2s, a 4 and a 10, and then we got 3 1s. There, of course, there's my 2. Okay, no hits. The militia in return. 6 misses. Okay, so we've got 2 boosted infantry and 2 artillery. So here's 4 2s. 2 7s, a 3, and a 10, all miss. And then we've got 3 1s. 7, 8, and 5, no hits. Okay, the militia in return, 5 misses. Okay, 2 artillery, 2 boosted infantry at 2s. There we go, we got a 1. That's the only hit we needed. The militia in return, of course, a 1 hits. Okay, so we'll lose an infantry. So we do take eastern Yugoslavia with 4 infantry and 2 artillery. That's worth $1, and that comes off the Germans. Okay, so southern Iraq, we have a carpet bomb. I don't think the desert affects the carpet bomb. So we get 3 rolls here for our carpet bombing. Well, those are definitely misses. 7, 8, and 10. Okay, so no hits. Okay, so we have 3 infantry, a paratrooper, and 3 fighters. So in desert, I believe we got -1. So the infantries are 1s. The paratrooper on this first round is a 2, and the fighters are 6s. So let's do our 3 fighters at 6s first. 1, 6, and 7. So there's 2 hits. We got our paratrooper at a 2. 11 misses, and then we got 3 1s for the infantry. 12, 5, and 10, so no hits. So we got 2 altogether. So Pete has 4 advanced mechs. 3 hits. So we'll lose the paratrooper and 2 infantry. Unbelievable. Okay, so he's down to 2 units. Okay, we got our 3 fighters at 6s. 1 hit. The infantry at a 1. I have 6 misses. His 2, 10 and 8 both miss, so he's down to 1 unit. 3 fighters at 6. There's 2 hits, a 2, 3, and a 12. His mech, a 5, and I believe that does hit. Of course it does, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll lose a fighter, whatever. Okay, so we take it with an infantry. That's worth $1. Okay. Unbelievable, this game. Unfreaking believable. Okay, so that's it for combat. Non-combat. Now let's land some planes. So the fighters went 1, 2, 3, 4, so they have to land in they're going to land in Transjordan, I guess. The Strat Bomber will land in Cairo, so will the air transport. These 2 guys are dead. Let's see, some ships over here. This destroyer and sub are going to move up to I-7. Over here, this battle cruiser and a destroyer are going to go 1, 2, 3 into I-7 as well. Join that fleet. The one unit, the 1 infantry in Bulgaria that stayed behind is going to rail down to Sudan. And I think that's it here in Africa. Nothing else really going on. Okay, over here in Europe, we're going to have our entire fleet in A22 come over 1 to A23. So I'll add that. And that U.S., well, 2 U.S. transports stayed behind. I'm sure they'll move on Bruce's portion of the turn. And I think that's it over here. With the FEC, we're going to rail an infantry in Calcutta to Maharashtra. The British fighter that stayed behind in Calcutta is going to go 1, 2 to Maharashtra. We're going to have the remaining British infantry that are in Bengal, which is 3, 6 British infantry, are going to back off 1 to Calcutta, as well as the 4 FEC artillery are going to back off to Calcutta. And how about we also send 5 of the FEC infantry too that are in Bengal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those guys will also back off to Calcutta. Okay, so that's it there. For Anzac, we're going to have this infantry in South Africa move over to Western Australia. We're going to have this naval transport load up the artillery at a major base and strategically naval move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go in port in Aden and drop that artillery off there in Aden. We're going to have this fighter in Sydney go 1, 2, 3 to Western Australia. And I think that's it for the Commonwealth. Okay, unit placement. Well, we're here with the Australians. The 1 militia upgrade is going to be here in Western Australia, so put a 2nd infantry down there. The FEC, a fighter and a Gurkha. The fighter goes in Calcutta, and the Gurkha goes in Bengal. I'll add that up here in a minute. The British, 2 militia upgrades. One of them is here in Aden, so take off that militia, make that an infantry. And the other one was where? Oh, down here in South Africa, so take off that guy, put an infantry. We got 2 militia. And where were we putting those? It would help if, we'll put one here in, actually we'll place one here in Sudan, I guess. And the other one goes in Normandy. So I'll put him on the card over here. And then everything else is London. So we've got 4 infantry. 1 paratrooper, 1 marine, that's 6 units, and then a jet is 7. Okay, so that should be it for the UK. How about income? So what did we take off? We got 2 off of the Russians for southern Iraq or Iran, and then we got $1 off of the Germans for Iraq and $1 for Eastern Yugoslavia. So we went up $4 and $2 each off of Germany. So 45 down to 43. We went up 4, 32 to 36. And the Russians down 2, 56 to 54. So that should be good for income. Okay, so now what about collecting income next turn? The UK spent everything. They're sitting at 36. I believe we only have the $3 bonus. That's 39. FEC spent everything. They're sitting at 8 with a 2 bonus. That's 10. Anzac saved 6. And they're at 6. That's 12. So I believe 39, 10, and 12 for the Commonwealth. Okay, on to the French. They had $6 to spend. They're going to do Foreign Legion for 4 and upgrade a militia for 2. That's their 6. And they have no attacks. So they're going to go ahead and bring this Foreign Legion down 1 to Transjordan. They're going to bring the medium armor over 1 to Cairo. Oh, the light cruiser. So the light cruiser joins the rest of that British fleet. So that was, the light cruiser was an A-22. That just moves up 1 with the rest of the British fleet to A-23. And that's it. Okay, so for unit placement, we're going to upgrade the militia here in Syria. So put an infantry down there. And then, actually, we're going to rail. We're going to do 1 rail. Oh, actually, I don't think that does connect to rail. So the 1 infantry in northern Iraq is just going to move back to Syria. And then the Foreign Legion goes down in Syria as well. So that's it for... Actually, scrub it. Leave the infantry in northern Iraq. Okay, so the French are at 6. They spent everything, so 6 is what they'll have. Okay, so let's do a unit recap. In Australia, Sydney has 4 militia, 4 infantry, and motorized. Western Australia has 2 infantry and a fighter. In Maharashtra, we have an FEC militia and an infantry, and a UK infantry, medium armor, and fighter. In port are 3 battleships, 2 UK, 1 FEC. And in C-Zone I-7 is going to be a battle cruiser, 3 fleet submarines, 3 destroyers, a naval transport, and a light cruiser. In Calcutta, we have 5 FEC infantry, 4 FEC artillery, 3 FEC AAA, 3 FEC militia, 1 FEC fighter, and I believe 6. 2, 4, 6 British infantry. In Bengal, I've got to count this now. We've got, oh man, well, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 Gurkhas. 3, 6, 9, 10. 10 FEC infantry, and a total of 4 AAA. So that's 4 AAA, 10 FEC infantry, 14 Gurkhas in Bengal. In Africa, in southern Iran, we got 2 UK infantry in C-Zone I-6. We got a naval transport, which I'm sure will die. Southern Iraq is a UK infantry. Northern Iraq, French infantry. Syria, French infantry, French Foreign Legion. Transjordan, 2 Anzac fighters, 2 Foreign Legion. In C-Zone M8 is a light cruiser and a coastal sub. In Cairo is a Strat bomber, a Anzac air transport, a French medium armor, and 5 British infantry. Nubia didn't change. Sudan has an infantry and a militia. There's now an infantry in South Africa. In Port and Aden is a naval transport, and Aden is an artillery and an infantry. Nothing changed throughout the Med. Normandy, the only thing that changed there is we added a militia. London is 4 infantry, 1 airborne, 1 marine, 1 air transport, 1 medium bomber, 1 tactical bomber, 5 fighters, 3 jets. And then the U.S. has an airborne, an air transport, 2 jets, and a tactical bomber. In A-23, we've got 7 naval transports, 3 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 1 French light cruiser, 1 coastal defense ship, and how many destroyers? I think it's 6, but 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. So 6 destroyers. So again, 7 naval transports, well, actually an 8th transport because it's American. The 6 destroyers, the 3 heavy cruisers, the 2 total light cruisers, and the coastal defense ship. Okay, so that should be it. Oh, and finally, Eastern Yugoslavia, 4 infantry and 2 militia, or 2 artillery. So that should be it for the UK. Turning things over now to Pete and the Italians.